Hello, I'm Joni Sussman, the President of the Board of Books for Africa. I'm coming to you and extending a warm welcome from our Books for Africa warehouse here in St. Paul, Minnesota. This is a global celebration, and I extend my regards to all of our supporters all around the world. This event is a celebration of shipping our 50 millionth book to Africa. Can you imagine how many children have pulled those 50 million books off of library shelves or tucked them into their book bags to take home and share with siblings? I know that in the last 5 months, the students who have been out of school due to COVID-19 have been able to read and remain engaged because of the books you've packed, the shipments you've sponsored, and the connections you've brought to Books for Africa. Thank you for your immense contributions over the last 32 years.
Hi, this is Pat Plonsky. I'm the Executive Director of Books for Africa. Happy to be here in our Atlanta warehouse in Atlanta, Georgia. Books for Africa is happy that we have sent 50 million books to Africa, or we will very shortly. And thank you everyone for your help in this effort. We have also sent 3 million digital books. And so thanks everyone for being part of this celebration. It's my honor to introduce to you our board member here in Atlanta, Fatima Mba, who is not only a fabulous board member, but a container captain, has raised a lot of money to send a lot of books to Cameroon and other countries in Africa.
Thank you, Pat, again. Congratulations on the job well done. I know this has been a long time in the making to be able to achieve that feat. 50 million books. I started this journey with you about 5 years ago. Since then, I've managed to send a whole bunch of containers to Africa, and the one impact that I've seen from these containers right off the bat was every time I delivered a container, the following year I got calls saying how the grades improved dramatically just from year to year, from when the books arrived to the next year. Schools producing the #1 and 2 kids in the region. So that's the impact, just a little bit of the impact that we've had from collaborating Books for Africa, being on the board, being a container captain. And as you can see, we're here at our warehouse in Atlanta. Pat flew down to spend some time with us, and we're encouraging you to join us in raising more funds as we ship more containers.
Awesome. Let's get the next 50 million going.
50 million.
Hey, Keith Ellison here, Attorney General for the state of Minnesota. Congratulations to Books for Africa. 50 million books. This is an amazing achievement. Thank all of you who volunteer, who work, who donate. Let's get 50 million more.
I'm Alpha Mohamed Samora. Congratulations to Books for Africa on shipping your 50 million books. This is my Mac e-reader, which I use every day to enhance my care of patients and improve my clinical profession or my clinical knowledge. Together, we will come through COVID-19. Thank you for continuing your mission.
Hey, I'm Tom Worth. I'm the founder of Books for Africa. I've just walked 60 miles from Taylor's Falls carrying this book. This is the 50 millionth book donated to the children of Africa. And from here, it's going to Atlanta and then on to the children in Ghana. So, without your help, it wouldn't have happened. But we need to do more. There are so many children without books in Africa. We must do more. Please help us. Please bid on some of these auction items. Give us a contribution. Volunteer. Give books. Whatever you can do, please. The children of Africa are growing up with no books now. You can help.
Books and education help change our thinking.
I made my dreams come true because of the books that I read.
A book creates hope, create opportunity. You get to see the world in a way you've never seen it before.
The name, Books for Africa, it's self-explanatory. It's a simple organization doing a simple thing, sending books.
This is the 50 millionth book donated to the children of Africa. I'm going to carry it by walking the first 60 miles of its journey. 32 years ago, I visited a library in Jinja, Uganda, and we sent them a few books. And look what's happened since. Incredible.
If you can put a book in the hands of a child now, in a short time, that child is going to become a leader of something.
I know exactly what a book famine is. I grew up living it, and I still have that memory while at school at Forodhani Secondary School, like really dying to get the books.
The mission is that of empowerment. You know, so the old adage about teaching a man to fish or giving him fish. Books for Africa teaches people to fish.
Books for Africa have contributed immensely to the development of this country.
We've already sent books to every single country in the continent, which is quite an achievement.
We want more books to send, and then we want the specific kinds of books that are wanted by our recipients in Africa. We have seen a demand for digital books and computers, so we've provided those. We've talked about custom printing of books in local languages.
I see the importance of Books for Africa being an opportunity to connect communities, to connect knowledge, and to unleash the potential that we have amongst the young people.
Dreams are equal opportunity gifts. Everybody can dream, right? So we need to make sure that people have resources so that they can live out their dreams and live out their potential, because we all miss out for all these kids and what they can become.
Here's the 50 millionth book. Isn't that something? Going to Ghana. 50 million books have crossed through this warehouse.
And I hope that I will end the book famine in my lifetime, so I can see and say, hey, we did it.
I'm here with our youngest container captains today. They just moved from where?
Nigeria.
And what's the name of your group?
Child to Child Book Foundation.
What made you want to send books back to Nigeria?
Back when we lived in Nigeria, we realized how hard it was for us to get an access to a diverse plethora of books. Our parents would always have to get the books from abroad through family and friends. So if it was hard for us, people who had the money able to go to even private schools, then it's going to be so much harder for people who are less fortunate than us to access these books. So we want to make it easier on them, and we want to give them the books necessary so that they are able to read and experience the joy of reading, just like we did when we were children. Our book foundation is called Child to Child Book Foundation because we are children giving books to other children, and we are trying to give them the same opportunities that our parents gave us. But since they are, like as I said, less fortunate, we want to make it easier for them by providing them with the books, giving it to local libraries and even orphanages, schools. We're trying to make it easier for them.
So if they can do it, you can do it.
As a child growing up in Africa, I realized very, very often that we didn't have textbooks, we didn't have libraries, we didn't have anywhere to find a good book to read. But Books for Africa is changing that particular scenario, and our kids in Africa are learning through these wonderful books. Thank you so much for your support for Books for Africa, and continue supporting them. And Books for Africa, we wish you another wonderful big milestone of 100 million books coming up soon. So thank you so much. God bless, and see you soon.
Hello to our Books for Africa supporters around the globe. I'm Sharon Sells-Belton, Vice President of Strategic Partnerships and Alliances at Thomson Reuters. I also served as the mayor of Minneapolis from 1994 to 2001. I'm here this evening to congratulate Books for Africa on shipping the 50 millionth book this year. Now that deserves a round of applause, and I hope you'll join me in giving them one. Now Thomson Reuters has now provided 109 law libraries that have been shipped to 23 different African countries. We are so proud to join this vast number of you who are book donors, warehouse volunteers, financial donors, container captains, and African recipients in our shared mission of providing access to information and to education. It is my esteemed honor this evening to introduce to you this celebration's keynote speaker. I am proud to introduce to you His Excellency, Dr. Barfour Ajay Bowaya. He is the Ambassador of Ghana to the United States. Dr. Ajay Bhuiyan is committed to the economic development of his country. He places emphasis on social justice and inclusion, as well as a fairer formula for international relations. It is fitting, therefore, that Kofi Loves Music, the 50 millionth book shipped by Books for Africa, has been delivered to Ghana. Thomson Reuters is also sponsoring a container shipment to Ghana in honor of His Excellency's visit. This will also include a law library for a women's legal organization and more copies of Kofi Loves Music. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you His Excellency.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this virtual meeting. As you would all be aware, the original intent was for us to get together in Minnesota to celebrate the work that Books for Africa has been doing. And this time in particular, we were going to celebrate a milestone in terms of the fact that Books for Africa has shipped 50 million books to all kinds of countries on the African continent. And I'm proud to say that the 50 millionth book is going to Ghana, a book with a rather very interesting name of Kofi Loves Music. We on the continent are very grateful for the work that Books for Africa has been doing, because one ought to always keep in mind the fact that a lot of people can reject a lot of items, but a book is basically one of those items that nobody ever refuses to take. And I believe that for all those of you who donate books, for those of you who sponsor the exportation of the books, and for those of you who volunteer even to sort out the books, you will never have an idea of the kind of job that you've been doing until probably you see a smiling face with a book donated by Books for Africa. I have been to the warehouse of Books for Africa in Atlanta, Georgia, looking at the collection there, looking at the people who work there and how heavy their schedule is, looking at even the sheer number of packages of books that are awaiting shipment. You have to actually recognize the effort that Books for Africa has been making towards the imparting of knowledge and whatnot on the African continent. We have to, maybe quickly recognize again the fact that maybe the books are not necessarily going to educate people, because you have to have an assumption that before people could read the book, they would be reasonably educated enough at least to be able to read. But then the import is expanding the knowledge, expanding the exposure of people through books, building interconnections through books. And this is where one has to admire the work that Books for Africa has undertaken over the years. We in Ghana have benefited quite a lot from what Books for Africa does, and we know what Books for Africa means to us. And even I personally am benefiting in the sense that Books for Africa is supporting me in putting together a library for a girls' secondary school that I'm developing. And I'm very grateful and I'm very appreciative of this support from Books for Africa. It is not going to be possible to actually thank the organization for what it has been doing and for what it is doing and for what I hope is is continuing to do. But it is important, really, to register the fact that in the course of all this, there are people who donate. There are people who volunteer their time. There are people who actually do a lot physically to ensure that the books arrive at their destinations in good shape, and also for the fact that even if you never recognized anything at all, you can imagine in your mind's eye what a facial expression a child or an adult or any reader would have when the person receives some kind of a book donated to them through your efforts. I'm essentially just mentioning the fact that we are always going to be appreciative of what Books for Africa is doing. And I hope and I expect that this is going to continue for some period of time, if not forever. But considering the fact that books are basically forever, I expect that this organization is going to have the kind of longevity it deserves to be able to serve the millions of people on our continent who would always benefit having a certain kind of volume to look at. On behalf of Ghana, on behalf of the various countries on the African continent, and on behalf of anybody anywhere who has benefited and may continue to benefit from what is it that Books for Africa does, I just want to say thank you. And I do hope that the relationship will grow. And it is a beautiful relationship, and we would want to keep it that way. Thank you very much.